inside the bunks. A little light. It's our final day. Not our final day, but our day to leave. This is day 3. Gotta get up and get out. This is my final day breakfast. Interesting assortment of fruit here. The way they have the bacon and the egg and the waffle. And then Gary has this. And he got me something called pog juice. And of course, blue milk.
Dale Halcyon, your bravery has been inspiring. Will you continue your efforts to support the resistance?
Absolutely.
I knew it. How do you plan to further the cause?
By fighting fascism.
I admire your courage. You know, it's heroes like you who can turn the tide in this galactic conflict. But before you can start on your next journey, you must finish this one. So, are you ready to board your launch pod back to Chandrila?
Yes and no.
Wonderful. Then I'm confident you'll be ready to depart on time, as soon as I've thoroughly reviewed your preparations. Now, I hear some Starcruisers use a space vacuum to clear out their cabins. They just open the viewport and everything gets sucked out into the vacuum of space. But, thanks to my 87-point departure checklist, our process is far superior.
Yay.
And safer. Shall we begin?
Yes.
Good. Then let's get started. Item 1. Will you be bringing home any wild or unusual creatures today?
No.
No.
Other than me.
Sometimes it can be a challenge traveling with creatures. Except for emotional support porgs, they're always a delight. One moment, please. I'm sure you at least remember how to reassemble the chandelier. Thank you. Now, where was I? Yes, item 2. Have you left any bathing, hair care, or dental hygiene items, such as your toothbrush, in the refresher?
No.
Oh, you must have worked logistics before. And the last item, summarizing all remaining points, though it pains me to do so. Have you forgotten any belongings in the closet, bunks, or any other conceivable location in the room?
No.
That's not a problem. Just keep in mind that the things you leave behind may be used for trading with the Jawas. It would be a tragedy to forget any valuables or family members in your cabin. Why do you think passengers so often do that?
Oh, they just don't check around.
You may be right. As for now, just make sure you're fully clothed, have all members of your party, and gather any jackets, handbags, or jetpacks for your departure. This has been such a memorable voyage. I'm going to miss you.
I'll miss you too.
I do hope our paths cross again, but until then, oh dear, it's becoming quite hectic. I'm afraid I must go. Best journey.
Best journeys. This is the 3rd day, the final day, and we have to be checked out by 9 a.m. And we already had our breakfast, so now we are going to head out to the pod. That's what they called it? The shuttle pod.
Yeah,
we have to go to the
pod.
shuttle pod, and they'll take us back to
Chandrila.
Chandrila.
We're gonna land on Chandrilla, and then we'll have to find our way back to Earth.
Yeah, I guess we're on our own with that. Here we go. Time to leave the Galactic Starcruiser.
And you said one of the rocket station.
Follow that up, man.
Just Chandrilla collection is closed. So that planet out there is Chandrilla. Okay, we're going on to our pod.
Safe travels.
Safe travels. We are leaving.
It's our honor. Alright, has anyone ever flown one of these before?
When we arrived.
Has anyone ever actually flown it though?
No.
Alright, it's very simple. I need somebody to put an autopilot. It's actually right behind you. Somebody can hit the terminal button for me.
What is going on?
Safe journey. All right, bright suns, everyone. We are home now. I'm Richard, and this is Gary. And we had a great time on the Galactic Starcruiser. Did you have a great time, Gary?
I had a phenomenal time.
I think Gary didn't expect to have a lot of fun because before we were going, he would just say, "Oh, this is all for you. I'll just be there to film everything." But what happened?
I ended up having a lot of fun. And so instead of focusing on filming Richard so much, I ended up getting immersed in the story and engaged in all the activities a lot more than I thought I would have been. They're very, very good at sucking you into participating.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. They keep you busy because there's an ongoing storyline, and if you choose to participate, you'll be very busy. You know, besides having the data pad, and the data pad has all the information, and they have these characters that they ask you to help them to do something for the resistance. Some of the characters you actually meet on the Halcyon, and some characters are just strictly on the data pad, but they ask you to do these tasks, and some tasks are on the Halcyon, and some tasks are on Batuu. If you choose to do these, you don't have to, but if you choose, you will be busy. And then, not only that do they have the activities on the data pad, but they also have the activities with the people in person. So they draw you into those activities. It actually really requires you to have an imagination, and especially be able to do what's the thing I can't
Improv.
do? Improv. There was one point where, you know, I was in a crowd with people and some of the actors were there, the characters are there, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, what do we think of? We have to divert them away from the coaxium. What do we tell them? What do we tell them?" And one of them was looking at me, and I'm just like,
I don't know.
I'm like, I'm so bad with improv. It's the worst. So I would just like, in my head, I'm like, think of something stupid, but nothing would come out. And so fortunately there were other people around that could help them and give them ideas. But I was just like, wow, come on, man. It was a wonderful experience. They did a fantastic job of keeping us immersed in the story, keeping us immersed in the Star Wars universe. Well, let's say the Disney Star Wars universe. They did a great job of making you feel like that you're on the Halcyon and in outer space, and without any kind of like hint of anything else. Like, you know, they use different types of terminology, you know, like, you know, data pad. They would say data pad instead of your cell phone. They say data pad. They use terms like refresher instead of restroom. Credits instead of money. You know, it was just great. And then, you know, of course, you've seen images of the bridge and you could see in outer space. So, and the same thing goes for your cabins. You know, the only thing you had was the window to outer space. But, you know, I didn't have any problem with that, you know, because it's all about being immersed. Why do I need to have a window out into Florida? Why would I want that? I want to be immersed into being on the Galactic Starcruiser, and it was a wonderful experience.
But speaking to the immersion, it's like, you know, all the cast, they know what planet they are from. And so they're always asking you, what planet are you from? So that way, and then I'm from this planet. And is it like my planet?
Yeah.
And those kind of things. So that was actually...
It was so cool. It was so much fun. I don't know, those videos out there that are very negative about the Star Cruisers, I just wondering if they actually been on it and experienced it. I started to watch one video, and it was very negative about the Star Cruiser, and one of the issue was that they said that you were not allowed to record anything. Hello? Did you see all the recordings that I posted? This is where I stopped the video because I just felt like they were just totally lying. Is he said that you'll have a ticket, and on the ticket it'll have a mark on a corner, and that ticket will tell the crew what side you're on, like if you're on the Resistance or the First Order, and they said, and basically that they decide for you. And no, that is not something that happens. You don't even get a physical ticket. You get this. You get this to get on the Star Cruiser that has your name on it. You put it on, and then it gives you access to the Star Cruiser. They don't even tell you, okay, you're the Resistance, so you got to do everything Resistance, or your First Order, you got to do everything for... No. You make that decision based on the course of the storyline.
And the responses you make in the data pad. Right.
So...
It is choose your own adventure.
Basically, that is what it is, yeah. I don't think I have anything negative to say about it, do you?
My only complaints was I wasn't fond of some of the food.
Oh.
But that wasn't enough to ever detract from it. They made efforts. The presentation of the food was phenomenal. I wasn't keen on some of the flavors of the food, of some of the food. But other than that, their attempt to make it this unique experience was definitely there.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have a problem with the food. I'm very picky, but also my palate is very simple. All of the basic stuff that they had there, like the flatbread and the grilled cheese and all this stuff, I didn't have any problem with that. I was like, even like the peanut butter, it wasn't peanut butter, it was sun butter jelly sandwich. I was fine with that. It was when they got really fancy, like when they did the bantha. I was, you know, I don't eat beef, but I wanted to try it anyway because, you know, it was an experience. But I didn't really like it. Yes. The bao with the bantha was really good. The bao with the tip yip was not. It didn't have much flavor. And the bao with the flora, was kind of spicy, but
Yeah.
but overall the food was fine. Like I didn't want the shrimp from Felicia because I don't eat seafood. So Gary ate all the shrimp.
And that actually was very good. That tasted, it's shrimp cocktail is essentially what it was.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that a lot. But the shrimp the first night that was in some kind of a curry and foam, that had such an off-putting taste to me. I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's like I tried it. It was like, nope. And that's hard for me, so I eat just about everything. So for me to reject it.
Yeah. The excursion to Batuu is a great addition to the trip for the Halcyon. I mean, you don't even have to go to Batuu. If you're like, I've been to Galaxy's Edge many times, I don't need to do that. You could stay on the Halcyon because they still have a little bit of activities going on during the whole day that you could participate.
What I liked about the Batuu trip, though, was that rather than it just being going into a theme park, it was an opportunity to actually go and do stuff. So your rides on the rides are actually part of the story.
Yeah.
Experiencing all of the crates and stuff and exploring and finding things in the area are all part of the story. So you had lots of opportunity to add to your story by going in.
We got to fast pass on Smuggler's Run and fast pass on Rise of the Resistance.
So you're not standing there waiting.
I did Build-A-Droid. So we had all these wonderful activities, and it was the first time I'd ever done the Build-A-Droid, and I decided to save it for this whole experience so I can add to the Batuu excursion.
Mm-hmm.
There was a choice.
And didn't you say that was a better decision because they didn't originally have the Chopper, the C-Series?
Not originally, no.
Yeah, so now by having waited, now that gave you an opportunity to do something that hadn't been there before.
While we were there, we also got some merch. And as I said, we went to Build-A-Droid, and I got a C-Series droid with a Resistance chip. Okay, let's see if... I hope the battery's not dead already. So that's how the droid sounds with the Resistance chip. And what did the cast member say? Called it the Lazy Resistance?
He called it the Lazy Resistance.
The Lazy Resistance. And this is that turns the head. Yeah, it's quick to respond. It's so cool. So that was for Build-A-Droid. And we also have, this also came with, as part of the package, we got these.
I have to say that Richard loves me a lot because he's all about reds and blacks. I'm all about blues, and he keeps doing this. So, like, he built the lightsaber with the pieces that I liked. He built the Build-A-Droid with colors that he knew I would like.
And I thought this would look cool because most of the droid has this gray color as well as this. So I thought adding the bronze,
and you got it
the
here
bronze
too.
here and the bronze here would be a very varied color. So and the arms bend here. It's a cool droid. And then I wanted to get the exclusive Chandrilla Starline SK620 figure. You can only get this on the Halcyon. If you want to just pay the price there. If you want to get it on eBay, you can get it on eBay, but at a crazy price. But I thought this was really cool. I'm going to keep it on the card because I like the whole package.
The packaging is really cool.
It's pretty.
And I like how it's like very unique compared to everything else.
Yeah. So they only have this style for the Halcyon.
Like even including when you look at the...
Yeah, and so when you have a drink on the Halcyon at the Galactic Starcruiser, you get these very special drink coasters. And then when you go to Oga's Cantina in Batuu, and you have a mission to complete that requires you to go to Oga's Cantina, they give you this drink coaster, very special drink coaster. You can only get this when you're doing that mission. And then it has this special code in the back to complete the mission. It's so cool. And then Gary He did the whole... What is that? The Mustafar...
The Fiery Mustafarian.
Yeah.
And so you order the drink, and it came with a black salt sugar rim, and it was a tequila-based drink, and they serve it with this Yips Venom, and
It's YPS.
Yips, I'm not quite sure. But, oh, we gotta clean that out. Oops. So, they told me, they go, it's very, very hot. So you want to start small and slowly add to it. And of course, I like spicy stuff. So I said, no, I'll add the whole thing. And they go, well, we warned you. Don't let it be said we didn't warn you. Yeah, I added the whole thing. It didn't bother me. But it is spicy.
And we kept this because it has Arabesh on it.
Mm-hmm. And even later, when I had a soda, a guy gave me another one just so I could add to my soda and make my soda spicy. So, again, the attention to detail and the niceness of the people on there. But when you bought certain drinks, so like we bought this one, you turn in the used glass at the end, and they'll give you a fresh, clean one to take home.
Yeah.
So
And we did the same thing with this one. I forget what the drink was. You get this souvenir glass, and it has the Shadrilla Starline logo on the bottom. By purchasing the drink with the souvenir glass, it made the drink like, what, $7?
Yeah.
Because the glass itself sold in its store for like...
It was $25.
20, yeah.
And what was interesting is that these are different than the ones sold in the store, which were a little smaller and say Chandrilla on them.
Yeah, they say Chandrilla right here in the store.
But these are a little bigger.
And really heavy. Very thick glass.
Yeah.
We plan on using this for New Year's Eve. Yay! Ooh, nice sound.
That is a nice sound.
And then they kindly gave us a... What do you call it? All right. Gave us a Halcyon Legacy comic book, a story that takes place on the Halcyon. Very cool. And these very nice pins that I showed it to you on the video earlier, before, the second video. But here's another close-up of the pins. They're very nice. And these are what we use on our excursions, so all the cast members know that we are special people, that we are from the Halcyon.
Mm-hmm.
And it treats us with regard.
That we're VIPs.
VIP, yep, indeed. I was thinking that this would be a once-in-a-lifetime thing, but I don't know. Like, maybe in a few years from now, I think I might like to go again.
I would be amenable to that.
It was a wonderful experience. I know some people say, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. But there's more to it than just
a hotel.
Hotel. It's not a hotel stay. There's a lot going for it. So it was wonderful. I would highly recommend it. If you're interested in going and you can go, I'd say do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, click subscribe. You can follow Star Wars Obsessed on Instagram and Facebook. See you on the next Star Wars Obsessed.
Bye.